day to you, friends of liberty. I am Mercy Otis Warren, and this is Voice of the Colonies, brought to you in part by
Feeling the weight of rebellion? Hug a goat. Our emotional support goats are trained to cuddle during cannon fire, eat incriminating documents, stare judgmentally at loyalists. Each comes with its own liberty-themed bonnet. No barn? No problem. The goat can also double as a heated pillow. Emotional support goats. Because war is stressful and cows are judgy.
Before we begin, may I remind you that news is best when it reaches you first. Subscribe, and you shall never be the last to hear it. So here we are at the close of August 1775, and the storm clouds of war keep piling higher. The British are striking our shores, our armies are pushing into Canada, and even sickness is creeping into our camps. If anyone still thinks this revolution will be quick and simple, they just aren't paying attention. We begin in Connecticut, where the British warship HMS Rose under Captain James Wallace sails in and unleashes its cannon on the quiet town of Stonington. There was no warning, no battle going on, just fire and wreckage. 2 townspeople were killed and homes near Long Point were destroyed. But here's the part Wallace didn't count on. Within hours, wagons were rolling in from nearby towns, packed with food, blankets, and supplies. You can blast houses, Captain, but you cannot blast away unity. But Wallace isn't done yet. He's still at it. His blockade is strangling Newport, Rhode Island, keeping fishing boats tied to shore and families hungry. In New York, British patrols are stopping ships, delaying deliveries, and stirring up chaos in the harbor. Merchants have had enough. They start demanding the right to arm their vessels and sail as privateers, legal pirates for the patriot cause. Even New Hampshire jumps into the fray. Leaders there are debating building armed ships of their own to defend Portsmouth Harbor. You can almost hear it. They're the first sparks of an American Navy catching fire. Now, there's nothing official yet, but plans are forming. Signal towers on the coast, patrols, militias ready to guard harbors. Britain may rule the waves for now, but patriots are learning to fight back on water as well as land. Meanwhile, up north, the fight intensifies. General Richard Montgomery leads his men up the Richelieu River. Their eyes are set on Fort St. John's, where Major Charles Preston scrambles to strengthen defenses. And then there's Ethan Allen. Bold, brash, maybe a little reckless, he is recruiting men to strike Montreal directly. Some call it foolish, others call it brilliant. But one thing is certain. The Patriots aren't just defending anymore. They're daring to take the fight all the way into Canada. Now, back near Boston, the enemy is not just redcoats, it's disease. Smallpox is making its way through the continental camps. Soldiers who show signs are being pulled away, isolated fast. General George Washington fears that the sickness could tear through the ranks faster than musket fire. We'll be back after this.
Abandoned by loyalists, reclaimed by liberty. These aren't just horses, they're freedom foals, left behind by fleeing tyrants, now retrained to serve the cause, as messengers, mounts, and muscle for the patriot push. Adopt one today and ride with purpose, because no good horse should be left behind when the world needs heroes. Freedom isn't just a right, it's a ride.
In Philadelphia, Congress is working nonstop. They authorize new currency to pay soldiers and demand reports on troop numbers and gunpowder stores from every colony. They know this war will not be won with speeches. It takes powder, steel, and planning. Ordinary people are stepping up too. In some Massachusetts towns, citizens are calling out any merchants who break the boycott of British goods. Names aren't being whispered in secret, they are being posted in taverns, read aloud, and they're being remembered. In other towns, families take in the wives and children of soldiers who are off at army camps. And at the pulpits across New England, ministers preach fiery sermons declaring that the king's cruelty proves resistance isn't just politics, it is a duty before God. Farther south, Charleston, South Carolina is preparing for what's coming. The provincial Congress orders harbor forts repaired and garrisons reinforced. Soldiers drill on Sullivan's Island, their eyes on the horizon for the British fleet that is bound to appear sooner or later. And on the frontier, tension rises. Both patriots and loyalists send messengers to the native tribes, promising rewards and warning of threats. For now, native leaders stand firm, but the air feels heavy with pressure. Alliances could shift at any moment. So here we stand at the end of August. The British fire on our towns. Their ships choke out our harbors. Our armies march north, daring to reach Quebec. Disease stalks our camps, and across the colonies, people, from ministers to merchants, from mothers to soldiers, are rising to meet the storm. The king may call us rebels. So be it. Rebels fight. Rebels endure. And rebels will build the future. Until next time, I remain your faithful correspondent, Mercy Otis Warren, and this has been Voice of the Colonies.